Hi, I'm Maggie Reese from Team Ruger, and I'm a brand ambassador and professional shooter. I've been shooting now for 10 years, and my mission is to take new shooters into the firearms community, make sure they're safe, and make sure they're having fun. So this is Maggie's mission.
This is Ruger America, New Shooter Academy.
So my personal mission, what I like to call Maggie's mission, is to make sure that every gun owner out there has a positive and safe experience with their firearm. And not just their firearm, but that they have the knowledge to carry through in any experience in life, to empower, to learn, to get knowledge, but always remain safe. So with the millions of new shooters out there, tons of new gun owners, I want to take every person, sit them down, and make sure that they understand how to properly load that firearm, unload that firearm, handle it safely, keep it pointed in a safe direction, shoot well, competently, but also have a good time. Because ultimately, if you have a good time practicing with your firearm, you are going to be a better shooter in the long run. And a better shooter makes for a safer shooter. The shooting sports are personal for me because that's how I got started, shooting with my dad, going to the range, learning safe gun handling, and having that experience as a new shooter at the range. I know how important it is to take people, to welcome them in, to give them a positive experience. I remember that from my training, and I want to give that forward to the next generation of shooters. All right, so grab your magazine and then just practice putting it in the mag well, like so. Slam it in. There you go. And when you pull back on the slide, remember you're just going to pull back and let go. Perfect. You are loaded and ready to go. Good grip. That thumb on top. Aggressive stance. Leaning forward. Front sight lined up with the rear sight. Smooth trigger press. Nice. And you've locked open. So I'm gonna give you a new magazine. So this is your magazine release right there. So if you press that, your magazine will fall out and you've got a new magazine to put in. Pull back on the slide. All right. A little bit better, not as good as your first shots, but you see you're getting back towards the center. So
trying to not do the anticipation.
Yes, that gun is gonna rise up. Just let it rise up how it wants to. Your job is just to pull the trigger straight back. I could see that gun dip when you pulled the trigger.
I did. I felt it when I did it. It was that whole, yeah. Okay.
So that's good, though, that you recognize it and you can see it. And it's just like I told you, you're going to see from the sights what the gun is doing. So let the gun rise up. Pull that trigger straight back towards you. If you have to think about just pulling it up a little bit. Still flinching a little bit as you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
That's okay. You want to go back to dry fire?
Can I try one more?
Absolutely. As long as you're comfortable, I want you to keep on shooting. Smooth, even trigger press. Let that front sight rise up like it wants to. So I'm going to do something now. I want you to extend the gun out. Okay. And when you're getting ready to shoot, I'm going to put my finger on top of your finger, and I'm going to pull the trigger for you.
Okay.
I want you to feel what I want you to feel.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So you keep holding onto the gun in the same way. Put your finger on the trigger. Let me pull the trigger.
Okay.
Smooth, smooth, smooth. And see, the gun wants to rise up. So that was the shot just on the red right there in the center.
Right.
So the gun is going to rise up. Just what's happening when you're pulling the trigger is you're getting there and you're like, it's going to go off.
Yeah, and I'm going.
It's going to go off. And you just have to just let it go off when it wants to.
Okay, and then and that's how I know that I'm out, because it immediately will stay open like this when I'm out of bullets.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how I know I still have more.
Yes.
Right?
So the gun should lock to the rear, but you always want to double check.
Okay.
Because
and that's why you did that little thing to get the, okay.
Yes, sometimes people do modifications or change it so that it doesn't lock to the rear, so always check. But I want you to finish this magazine and just every shot, let the gun do what it wants to do, let it recoil. you don't need so much tension in your arms. You know, it's just kind of aggressive, leaning forward, good squeeze with the left hand, but let the gun recoil how it wants to. Perfect. That was in the center. Nice.
Okay. So
Nice.
can I just say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Set the gun down now. Jump up and down because you got to set it.
I don't feel about it. But I got so excited because I'm like, no, just go. So it was smooth there. Now let me see if I can do it again.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited. I was just trying.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm such a nerd.
I love it. That thumb on top. Yep. And your pace, you do it at whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Okay.
Still in the center.
Yeah, because it was that one just above that one, right? Okay. Okay, so that whole smooth. Yeah, I did. I was starting because I was like, oh, Okay.
Don't add.
Okay.
Just
Yes,
smooth and
don't
gentle.
add.
So now we've gone through how to verify that the gun is empty, how to pick it up while keeping the finger extended outside of the trigger guard. Now this hand, my left hand, my non-dominant hand is going to come up underneath the trigger guard, wrap around. This thumb is going to stay on top of this thumb, and I'm going to squeeze with everything that I got. So I picked it up. From the beginning, these fingers on my dominant hand are wrapped around underneath the trigger guard. This finger is extended. Come with my non-dominant hand up underneath the trigger guard, wrap around, just like so. But my finger is still
outside the
because I'm not
trigger.
shooting yet. I'm just getting my grip. So,
Okay.
so just practice getting your left hand going. And I'm going to come around and adjust some things for you. So let's get this thumb up high.
Hi. Okay.
This hand comes around. This is going to go forward.
Okay.
And if you can, you want to cant your wrist a little bit so that you can kind of cant this hand a little bit so you can kind of get your thumb down there. I know it feels awkward because you have to push forward.
Right.
It's going to feel awkward, but what it does is it helps you to grab onto the gun.
And stay steady. Okay.
So being a right-handed shooter, you're actually going to grip as hard as you can with your left hand because you want to leave some dexterity in your right hand to move the trigger eventually.
Okay. Okay.
So I would
try it
just
again.
yes. So this thumb and that thumb. And you'll probably have to do it 100 times so that the thumbs get in the right spot. And that's okay. So this thumb up high, this thumb. So eventually the slide is going to go to the rear. You're going to be firing. The slide's going to go to the rear. It's going to eject brass out. So you never want any part of your hand over the top.
Over that, yes. Okay. Okay, so it does like push out empty shells. Okay.
So a revolver would stay in the chamber.
And you have to clean it out. But for this,
It's going to eject
kicks
out.
it out. Okay.
So it's just the same thing over and over again so that I never have to think about where do my thumbs go? Where does my hand go?
Okay.
There you go. There you go. And it's that kind of thumb action where you're canting this hand forward just so you can get the thumb forward.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to do is get as much of the surface of
My palm.
because that's going to give you that squeezing and it's going to
Okay.
put pressure on the firearm and then that way you can hold it steady. All right, so what I want you to do right now is fire 2 shots on the first target, use your pointer finger, drive the gun over to the second target, fire 2 more shots. And kind of do it at a speed, you don't have to go crazy, but a speed that you feel comfortable shooting because this is a soft recoiling gun. There's not a lot of bounce to it, so you can really get behind it, pull the trigger, 2 shots, move to the next target, 2 shots.
Got it.
But I know what you can do. I know that you can get them right in the center. So I want you to do that again. Right in the center.
All 4 times?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. I have confidence in you. Perfect. Nice. So finger outside of the trigger guard, safety on. Awesome. Set it down and let's take a look real quick.
I need to take this out?
No, you can just set it down because
Okay.
we put the safety on. We're not gonna, I won't let anybody go down range. So awesome, good speed. Now if you notice, you went a little bit high.
Yep.
A little bit high. Why do you think you did that?
I kind of tensed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt it when I was going towards the second one. I was trying to look cool and I shot too fast.
It did look cool. But we gotta still hit the target. And another thing is I notice sometimes like if you're under pressure to hit the target, sometimes people want to look over the top and like look at the target like, oh, did I hit it? Oh, did I hit it? And now you're breaking your sight picture and you're breaking your cheek well behind the gun. I don't know if you were doing that, but just be conscious and aware that sometimes people raise their head up and then it causes everything to go up because they're looking over the top. So I want you to do the same drill again, 2 shots on the first target, 2 shots on the second target, but aim for that center of the target if you can.
Got it.
So your gun is loaded, just go straight to it. And just barely let it forward. There you go. Barely let it forward. Nice. Nice. Awesome. That's awesome.
Is that better?
Yes, I am so happy with that. So could you feel the trigger resetting?
Yeah, I would just kind of squeeze it and then just wait to hear the click.
Yeah.
And then go again.
Yeah. And eventually, as you keep on doing this, you'll get your speed back up. But anything that you can do to minimize the movement in your hand, the movement in your stance, whatever you can do, get rid of that unnecessary flick. Hold on to that trigger, reset it, just let it reset, and you can get right back on target so much faster. So that was awesome. So this is Ruger's pistol caliber carbine. So it looks like an AR rifle, but it's shooting a pistol cartridge. It's actually shooting the exact same ammo that we shot in the Security 9. Okay. The benefits of that are that it is much less recoil. So it's feels better to shoot, much more comfortable. And you can get a lot of practice and training if you want to switch over to a rifle platform, but you can do it with the same ammo that you're shooting out of your pistol and not tire yourself out as much. So just like the pistol, I want to show you that this gun is completely unloaded. There's nothing in the mag well, nothing in the chamber for both of these. So unloaded firearm. This gun, in addition to just being a fun gun to shoot and give you your rifle training, it's actually becoming really, really popular in competition. And it can even be popular for people who are looking for a home defense or personal protection gun in the home, because if you're coming from a place where you already have the rifle experience and you're comfortable with that platform, it's a natural transition to go back and forth. So it's got some really cool features on it. It's got an adjustable stock in the back, so we're gonna set one up so it feels comfortable for you. Okay. And when you grab it, you're gonna wrap your fingers around the grip, just like pistol, but this hand is gonna go out front.
Okay.
And it's gonna help you hold up the weight of the gun.
Okay.
And the other thing is when you're transitioning from target to target, you can kind of use your pointer finger to guide you. So I always keep this finger extended out. And what I'm looking for is to put my cheek right underneath it, just a little bit of pressure, looking straight forward. There's a red dot, which I'm going to turn on. And unlike the pistol where you had your point of focus on the front sight and the rear sight, your point of focus now is going to be on the target, and you're just going to put the red dot on the target.
Gotcha.
It's a short trigger pull, so it's going to feel a little bit different than the Security 9, but again, it's really light recoiling gun. So I think you're going to really like it. So I've got a magazine for you. It's going to load from the bottom until it clicks. Then pull back on the charging handle, and I'm going to walk you through it. So step by step.
Safety, right?
Safety. I don't know if it'll go on when it's... Yeah, well.
All right.
So go ahead, grab the gun. Magazine well. Push it in until it clicks. You're set. This is your charging handle, so you pull back and let go. Yep, you're set. Your safety is still on, so you can get into position, get comfortable, line that gun up, put the red dot right on the target.
Okay.
Nice, smooth trigger pull when you're ready. It was right in the center.
Wow.
How did it feel? If you want, you can put the safety on and set it down, and we can talk about it.
It felt very different, even more smooth. Like it feels like I have more handle because
Yes.
I'm guessing because I'm holding it,
Yes.
you know, longer arm and all that. So it was very nice. Yeah.
Well, that's the reason a lot of people like rifles, ARs, it's that 3 points of contact. So instead of just two hands on the gun, now you have the addition of putting
The
it
whole
into your
body is
shoulder.
engaged into that. Wow.
it. So it's
Big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
And people will find that. Some people are just strictly pistol people, and some people just love rifles and
Or both.
but you have to try it to know.
It's awesome to have variety and, you know, to know that there are different features to each gun.
Yeah.
And the rifle, you know, you have a pistol, everything. So this is
Absolutely.
awesome.
Awesome. So do you think you liked it?
I did.
Awesome. You want to shoot some more?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've got 2 targets downrange, so you can shoot just one shot on each target and kind of feel the gun moving back and forth. And your finger, remember, is going to be extended, so it's going to point at this target and then point at the next target.
Okay.
At the pace that you feel comfortable shooting.
I got you. Okay.
All right, so you are loaded up, your safety is
wipe off
on,
me.
but all you have to do is just take the safety off when you're ready to shoot.
Okay.
So nice, smooth grip. If you can, just bring it up a little bit. Nice, smooth cheek weld. See the front sight lined up with the rear sight. And at your pace, fire one shot at the first target, one shot at the second target. Very nice. They're all in the red box. Nice. All right, that was perfect. And I saw that as you were shooting, you started to lean back, but then you corrected yourself. Yes, so that's always good because when you're at the range by yourself, you have to know, okay, what's going to feel different? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? So I'm so happy to see that.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
This is awesome.
Yay.
Good tips, and it was awesome.